Welcome everyone to Advanced College Reading Skills, Chapter 2 notes on main idea. So here we are on the class dashboard for Reading 99, and you are going to go to, again, going to modules for your notes. This is where you will be able to access both your reading notes for all 10 chapters and your vocabulary notes for all 10 chapters. So we're going to go here to Advanced College Reading Skills, Chapter 2. Today we're going to talk about main idea. So click on download here. And again, if you have issues with downloading, you can just go through. You can see here and just go through the slides. You don't need to press download or save anything or print anything out. So we'll go here, presentation. And so main idea is one of the core foundations when it comes to reading and comprehension. So the overall major point or reason you are reading, that is what a main idea is. It's what either the whole article, the informational article, persuasive essay is about. That is the main idea. So you want to be able to identify that. And within the next chapter, you'll see how we figure out also how to support that main idea. But for now, for chapter 2, we're just going to focus on the main idea, the topics here. So a good reading skill to have is asking yourself the question, what is the main point the author is trying to make? So what is he or she trying to convey, or what is their message, or what is their point for writing this book, article, short story, poem, anything like that? There always has to be a point. They're not just going to write words for the sake of writing words. So you have to ask yourself and talk to yourself and ask, what is the main point? And you're basically asking yourself, what is the main idea? So we look here at this illustration, and it says down here, I've got problems. I lost my job. My wife left me. My friends don't return my phone calls. Even my dog won't go for a walk with me. So here, where the whole main idea, he lists off all these horrible things that are happening to him. So basically, the main idea of this is to convey that he has problems. And then the supporting details are that he lost his job, his wife left him, friends don't return calls, and his dog won't even go for a walk with him. So it's the main idea of this illustration is to convey that he has problems, and then what are those problems? And he gives you that list. So looking here on this paragraph, and you'll be able to, again, remember these notes. You can go on your own. I just do these tutorial videos to help guide you through the class, and for some it's easier if and I'm able to go into more detail on these types of videos. But reading this paragraph here, and as you're reading, and a good skill to have when reading is to keep asking yourself, okay, what is it mainly talking about? So we'll read first. And it says, many people feel that violence on television is harmless entertainment. However, we know that TV violence does affect people in negative ways. One study showed that frequent TV watchers are more fearful and suspicious of others. They try to protect themselves from the outside world with extra locks on the doors, alarm systems, guard dogs, and guns. In addition, that same study showed that heavy TV watchers are less upset about real-life violence than non-TV watchers. It seems that the constant violence they see on TV makes them less sensitive to the real thing. Another study of a group of children found that TV violence increases aggressive behavior. Children who watched violent shows were more willing to hurt another child in games, where they were given a choice between helping and hurting. They were also more likely to select toy weapons over other kinds of playthings. So, again, we have to ask ourselves, what are they talking about? Well, a good point in what the main idea of this article, a good way to indicate that is, do you see any words repeating or subject matter? What's our topic? What's our subject? And usually that's only a couple of words. Could be one word, two words, maybe three. It's not an entire sentence. So something that keeps sticking out is violence on television. So TV violence. This keeps coming up. So you see violence here in this sentence. Okay, and then you see down here TV violence. You see violence again, TV violence. So we know it has something to do with violence and television. So we look at the question that says, which general statement is supported by the other material in this passage? So basically, what would go along? What would go with this? Basically, it's another way of asking yourself, what could possibly be the author's main point? And so we know it has something to do with TV violence. And so what are they trying to say about this television? Are they saying that many people feel that violence on television is harmless entertainment? However, we know that TV violence does affect people in negative ways. One study showed that frequent TV watchers are more fearful and suspicious of others. Indeed, they try to protect themselves from the outside world with extra locks on the door, alarm systems, guard dogs, and guns. So, looking at this, the main idea in a general statement or topic sentence, even, that's what another way of saying main idea, and you'll see that come up within the later notes and even in this PowerPoint slide as well. So you have to ask yourself, what's the main idea? What's the topic of the sentence? What's the topic sentence? So we know it has something to do with TV violence. So when you look at the sentence they provide you here about what could apply to the entire article here, you have to look. And if we look at D alone, that's one of the easiest ones to take out. They try to protect themselves from the outside world with extra locks. This is, again, it's talking about TV violence. So they talk nothing about protecting themselves from the outside. So it's, again, that is just a small, minute detail. So this will be a supporting detail. So it doesn't talk about TV violence. So what is another one? So if we go to C here, okay, one study showed that frequent TV watchers are more fearful and suspicious of others. Well, again, we're talking about TV violence, so it mentions nothing about TV violence necessarily. So again, this could be used possibly as a supporting detail. So C and D are out. And so this is also a good test-taking strategy. Eliminate 2 so that you have a 50-50 chance to figure out the correct answer. So it's between A and B. So you have to see which one can apply to all. And so hopefully you've made a choice, narrowed it down to either A or B, and the correct answer is B. And you'll see here we know that TV violence does affect people in negative ways. So they have those negative ways. So this is the topic sentence that we know that TV violence does affect people in negative ways. And you have to ask yourself, how do they affect? And in that article, they're going to explain that. If we look here, we'll go back. So if you look here, okay, A is too general. Many people feel that violence is harmless entertainment. Yes, it's close. But here it's a little bit more specific for B. However, we know that TV violence does affect people in negative ways. Well, what are those negative ways? So we have something, and we'll go into further detail in Chapter 3 for supporting details, but there are signal words, like we talked about in Chapter 1 with signal words with vocabulary and context when it came to synonyms, antonyms, and so on. But when it comes to supporting details, you want to find things that indicate an order, chronological order, or pattern. So it's like saying McDonald's is the best fast food. And then that's just an opinion. But if I back it up with supporting details as to why, like for one reason, another reason, a third reason, those are called signal words. So if you look in this paragraph here, so right after this sentence, TV violence does affect people in negative ways. Right here, one study showed, so that's one, that frequent TV watchers are more fearful and suspicious of others. So that's one supporting detail. And then look here, down here, in addition, so that's another signal word. That same study showed that heavy TV watchers are less upset about real-life violence than non-TV watchers. So again, it's supporting the idea that TV violence and how it's affecting people in negative ways. And so look, another study of a group of children found that TV violence increases aggressive behavior. So we have 3 great supporting details indicated by signal words. words. So you want to be able to look that up. And when you find those signal words, even if you have trouble or difficulty trying to figure out what could be the main idea, well, you have to see, can these apply and be supported by these supporting details? So again, so you'll see some graphic organizers or even outlines, and we'll go over outlines and annotations throughout this summer semester. But TV violence does affect people in negative ways. So we have here the main idea. TV violence does affect people in negative ways, and then you have supporting details that follow. So frequent TV watchers are more fearful and suspicious of others. Heavy TV watchers are less upset about real-life violence than non-TV watchers. TV violence increases behavior in children. So again, this umbrella effect is basically, the whole idea is you have a general idea or topic, and then you have a more specific supporting details. They go into greater detail. This could be seen in a graphic organizer or a thinking map, especially when it comes to when you're writing. So you have when you're organizing your essays, you have your main idea. You know what you want to write about, but how are you going to get there? How are you going to arrive at that and have everyone that reads it, your audience, agree with you? And so you have your major bullet points that you want to hit, and that's what these specific details do, and you have to build your argument around them. So again, here are just some key recognizing two main ideas and just 3 great strategies. When you're looking for a main idea, look for generals versus specific ideas. Use the topic to lead to the main idea. Now remember, topic is basically the main subject. So if you see something being repeated, and it could be 1 or 2 words, maybe 3, it's not a sentence. Now you will, and I know this is going to be a little bit confusing, but a topic sentence, you'll see it come up on your exams and throughout the text. A topic sentence is another way of saying main idea. Okay, it's a main idea sentence, topic sentence, that's the same. Now a topic is just the subject, but they all have to deal with the main idea. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of clarification when it comes to topic and topic sentence / main idea. So again, here we have general versus specific. So remember that umbrella. So the general is basically the subject, and the specific are the supporting details. So we have here A, dishonesty, B, greed, C, bad qualities, D, selfishness. So 3 of these are specific, and 1 is the subject or topic. So 3 of these have to go under 1 subject matter. And so the main subject here is bad qualities. So the general idea, the topic is bad qualities, and then dishonesty, greed, and selfishness, they're all specific details of bad qualities. Pardon me. So again, you're looking here, I went over, and this goes into greater detail, which you can go in on your own. I broke it down for you. So you'll see here, so the specific, which is the supporting details here, indicated by the, again, the signal words. And they even have in your book, they'll go into greater detail in your text in your Advanced College Reading Skills 6th edition. It'll go into greater detail. So again, topic. So you have to look at the topic. The topic will lead you to your main idea. So I have here, recently, a family of four were found dead in their suburban home in New Jersey, victims of carbon monoxide. Such cases are tragically common. Carbon monoxide is deadly for many reasons. To begin with, it is created in the most ordinary of ways, by the burning of wood, coal, or petroleum products. Once created, this gas is impossible to detect without instruments. It is colorless, odorless, and tasteless. Also, carbon monoxide mingles with and remains in the air rather than rising and being carried away by the wind. Then, when people unsuspectingly breathe it in, it chokes them, taking the place of the oxygen in their blood. Furthermore, it can do its lethal work in very small quantities. Anyone exposed to the air that is just 1% carbon monoxide for even a few minutes will almost certainly die. So what is the topic of the paragraph? So again, they're asking you, what's the subject? What word kept getting repeated, or 2 or 3 words again? And that, if you're looking through, what stuck out was carbon monoxide. Okay, so we know our main idea is going to have to do with something about carbon monoxide. That's what this whole paragraph was about. So, looking for a sentence here, what are they trying to say about carbon monoxide? And you're going to look here carefully. Okay, so again, if you're not sure, let's look for some signal words. So, what are some supporting details that we know it's about carbon monoxide, but what are they trying to say? And some signal words are, sorry. Well, signal words are, looking here, to begin with. That's a good supporting detail indicator. It is created in the most ordinary of ways. Also, carbon monoxide mingles with and remains in the air rather than rising and being carried by the wind. Then, that's another supporting detail. When people unsuspectingly breathe it in, it chokes them, taking the place of oxygen. Furthermore, that's another supporting detail. It can do its lethal work in very small quantities. Anyone exposed to the air, just 1% carbon monoxide for even a few minutes will almost certainly die. So we know it's about carbon monoxide. So what are they trying to say? And these are all examples of, and the sentence here, it's going to be, carbon monoxide is deadly for many reasons. And we just went through the supporting details that support how deadly they are and why carbon monoxide is so deadly. So carbon monoxide, so it is that statement. Because if you look at the first sentence here, and again, we'll go into more details about this throughout the chapters, but the main idea, and one of the misnomers, is that a main idea is usually the first or second sentence in an essay or in a paragraph, and that is not the case. A main idea can be anywhere in an essay or even in a paragraph. It can be at the beginning, it can be at the middle, it can even be at the end or the final paragraph. So again, and there can be even two main ideas in a paragraph or in an essay. And we'll go over that right now. We're just focusing on just finding the one main idea. So again, so that is the sentence that is the topic sentence. That's another way of saying main idea here. Okay, so looking there, and we talk now about, and it goes into detail more in your book, but list words. List words are basically that set up your supporting details. So we have here carbon monoxide is deadly for many reasons. So this is a list word. So we know the supporting details are basically going to be a list of reasons why it's so deadly. So you'll see those come up, and as we get more practice with it, you'll become better at identifying these signal words or list words. So here are some examples of some very common list words here, and they have these in your book along with a longer list of list words that you may see come up in the main idea. So addition words now also, and that is basically adding to the supporting details. So again, this usually you'll see that they go almost like in a chronological order or adding information. That's another way of why it's called addition, because it's adding information, supporting details. So some of them are one, or first of all, second, secondly, third, thirdly, last of all, or last, or finally. So again, when you get to English 101, when you're writing, your instructor may ask you, okay, body paragraph 1, you could say first of all, or first reason. And then in your conclusion, you could say finally. So again, this is just addition words, and they indicate an addition of information or supporting details. Okay, and so we look here, and this is from the previous examples. And again, we did identify those words already. And so looking here, again, here is your list word. And then the addition of information, one in addition and another. And that's why I indicated them as signal words, because that's what it comes down to, is that they are signaling you to supporting details. Okay. Now again, this goes to locations of main idea. Main ideas can be at the beginning, they can be at the middle, they can even be at the end. So I do not want anyone to fall under that misconception that you have to find that main idea in the first, second, or third sentence, because it can happen anywhere. So an example here. So for shy people, simply attending class can be stressful. Several strategies, though, can lessen the trauma of attending class for shy people. Shy students should time their arrival to coincide with that of most other class members. About 2 minutes before the class is scheduled to begin, if they arrive too early, they may be seen sitting alone, or even worse, actually forced to talk with another early arrival. If they arrive late, all eyes will be upon them. Before heading to class, the shy student should dress in the least conspicuous manner possible, say in the blue jean sweatshirt and sneakers that 99.9% of their classmates wear. That way, they won't stand out from everyone. They should take a seat near the back of the room, but they shouldn't sit at the very back, since instructors sometimes make a point of calling on students there. So, the main idea here is what? So ask yourself, what are they trying to talk about? And then again, you know it's about students. Okay? But look deeper. What's the topic? What kept getting repeated? Well, we have the word shy. Shy. So are they talking about shy people? See, shy students? So they're talking about shy people or shy students. So what are they trying to say about these shy people or shy students? And so that's what your main idea is. So you have to look for a sentence that is going to talk about that subject or topic. And the correct answer is right there. Several strategies, though, can lessen the trauma of attending class for shy people. Right there. Several strategies. So that's your main idea. Okay. Now, main idea can be in the middle. So if we look here, a television ad for a new sports car showed scenes of a beautiful open country that suggested freedom and adventure. The car never appeared in the ad at all. An ad for a hotel chain showed a romantic couple in bed together. They were obviously on vacation and having a leisurely, romantic, sexy morning. As these ads suggest, advertisers often try to sell products and services by associating them with positive images rather than providing relevant details about the product or service. An ad giving the car's gas mileage, safety rating, or repair frequency would be more important to a buyer, but it might not draw the viewer's interest as much as beautiful scenery. Similarly, details on the hotel's prices and service would be more informative than images of a glamorous vacation. But the romantic couple gets people's attention and associates the hotel in the viewer's minds with a good time. So, again, we're looking for a main idea. So, what we have to look for also, and what will help you, is looking for topic or subject. What are they talking about here? And again, something that kept coming up. They were talking about ads. So we have the word ad here. Television ad. Television ad. So it keeps coming up. Advertisers. So we know it has something to do with television ad. So what are they trying to say about television ad? And so looking here, as you go through, ad suggest. And the correct answer is right here in the middle. So again, these two sentences just gave you some background on your subject, but they weren't about the main idea. Here is the main idea. As these ads suggest, advertisers often try to sell products and services by associating them with positive images rather than providing relevant details about the product or service. So that is the main idea. Okay? And then main ideas can be at the end of an article. So again, they can come at the beginning, middle, or end. Looking at this one, only about 1% of insect species are destructive to crops and property. Nevertheless, this small group causes several billions of dollars of damage each year in the United States alone. Harmful insects include household pests such as termites, crop and livestock pests such as boll weevils, and hosts of disease-causing organisms such as mosquitoes infected with parasitic protozoa. Many insects, on the other hand, are beneficial to human society. Some insects pollinate fruit trees, flowers, and many field crops. Bees produce honey and beeswax, silkworms from cocoons from which silk is spun, and lac insects provide the raw material for commercial shellac. Some kinds of insects are natural enemies of destructive insects. For example, the larvae of certain wasps feed on caterpillars that destroy plants. Clearly, insects are both harmful and beneficial to human society. So, main idea here. Again, there was a lot of information poked in here, and they talked about so many different things, but what kept coming up and what the topic or subject that kept getting repeated was we're talking about insects. So, we know that looking through here, our main idea is going to be something about insects. What are they saying about insects? And so the correct answer, if you look through what can apply to all of it, and if you look at that last sentence there, clearly insects are both harmful and beneficial to human society. And so they gave us the both positives and the negatives about the insects. So now there could be two main ideas. They are one and the same. It's just that they will give you the main idea at the beginning and then reiterate it at the end. So we have here an important result of medical advances is an increase in the number of conditions thought to be of medical concern. In the not too distant past, birth and death usually occurred at home. Family members and friends were there or close by. Now most people are born and die in a hospital, surrounded by bright lights and expensive machines. People who were addicted to alcohol or drugs were once considered sinful or lacking willpower. Now they are considered sick. Problems that used to be accepted as part of life, baldness, wrinkles, small breasts, sleeplessness, are now deemed proper matters for medical attentions. Such criminologists have been defined antisocial behavior as a medical problem. Lawbreakers of all kinds, from the shoplifter to the mass murderer, may potentially be labeled sick. Because of current medical knowledge, what were once thought to be problems of life or of character are now considered medical issues. So we know we're talking about medical. But what are we talking about necessarily? Well, we're talking about medical, possibly advances or medical issues. So we know that they're talking about different medical problems and so on. So we know our main idea has something to do with, and they give us these details. And the correct answer is, and again, they're going to have two sentences that contain the main idea. And that's the first one, where an important result of medical advances is an increase in the number of conditions thought to be of medical concern. And because of medical knowledge, what were once thought to be problems or life or of character are now considered medical issues. So again, they're kind of one and the same. They're talking about how what were thought to be the medical advances have now solved these medical issues. So it's just a way of them rewording it. So now, again, another way of saying main idea or topic sentence is also you're going to see it in thesis. And when you're writing, especially in science, they will ask you to hypothesize or create a thesis that you're going to prove. In English, when you're writing an essay, you have a thesis, and then you have to support that thesis. So again, you'll see thesis or main idea or topic sentence. Please do not be alarmed. That's just different ways of them presenting, and they're just asking you for the same thing. What is the main idea? What's the central point of that piece of work that you are reading or writing? So again, you can just go over these on your own. And so that'll bring us to the end of Chapter 2, Main Idea. Next, we talk about Chapter 3, which will be about supporting details, and we'll go into more detail about those supporting details. Thank you.